All right. Hello, hello. We are so excited to be working with you. Let's go through getting you all set up and welcomed and onboarded and just knowing what is going on. So, when you get started with us, we're going to go through a 30-day launch or relaunch period. And we're just going to go over how it works and set some expectations so that way you win and we win as your team behind you. So, the 30-day launch period, give or take, we shoot for 30 days. We most likely have already talked to you about it, whether you want that to be a shorter time period with more stuff going on, or we can extend it out to a max of 2 months. But that 30-day sweet spot is a sweet spot for a reason. So let me introduce you to your team. A lot of this you probably already know, but just for clarity's sake. So we have Sammy, company founder and visionary. He is the lead podcast strategist for everything podcasting, AI, marketing, and monetization. So he's going to be helping you out on those strategy calls inside of Slack, thinking about your show, working on the strategy behind the scenes, presenting it to you. He will be supporting on your studio build out when it comes to making sure that your audio and tech is working, your lighting is working, and make sure that you reach out to him via Slack. That's going to be the easiest way to connect with him. Then you have myself, Ray. If I haven't met you, hello, hello. I'm the company CEO and brand strategist. So I'm going to be your lead brand strategist for all of the assets that you're going to be receiving, all the deliverables. We'll be dialing in your messaging, your speaking, and I'll be helping out with the visual side of things for your podcast studio. Feel free to reach out to me on Slack or email right there. We also have May, who is going to be your launch manager. She's amazing at overseeing timeline and deliverables. You're going to get to know her really well, and she's going to be overseeing the launch operations, the execution, the admin, and billing. So if you have any questions around those types of things, reach out to her via Slack or via email at the admin at Evolve Podcasting email. Then after the launch period, you're going to go into ongoing production. This is where things are going to be streamlined and you're going to have a really great flow. By that point, you're going to know what's going on and you'll get into your rhythm. At that point, we're going to assign you a show manager. This is going to be your point of contact during all of the ongoing production. They're going to be overseeing the production. They're going to be tracking your stats. They're going to be giving you client updates and, importantly, booking strategy calls with Sammy and myself throughout the process to make sure that we are always just tweaking it and making it the best show possible for you, your business, and your listeners. So our system, we communicate via Slack. We'll also be sending you some emails and text when needed, so check that out, but everything will be inside of Slack if that's your go-to. You also will have your Airtable on there. There's the dashboard with all of the links to everything you need. All your assets will be there. Everything from your launch checklist in terms of, where are we at with things. It will show you the phases of your launch, and it'll also even show you, where to upload episodes once you get into the ongoing production. You'll also be able to see, updates around billing, episode production status in terms of were they submitted? Are they being edited? Are they already in syndication? Have you already paid for the episodes? All of that type of stuff is going to be in there. So we already went through this, but the launch phase is really going to be that high touch point time. So especially weeks 2 through 3, that's when everything's coming together and we're getting ready. Of course, if you are planning on doing a shorter launch time frame, that's going to be a little bit shorter, right? So let us know if your team or yourself are going to be out of office at any point during this month of launch. That's going to be really important for us to just know and be able to work with as we, wrap our team around you and give you that type of support. So in your agreement, in your contract, you'll see all the details. That's going to be inside of that Honeybooks contract. That is linked inside of your Airtable if you ever need it. That's where you see all the details, so that way you know all the deliverables that you're going to be getting. And when we look at the launch phase, you're going to be getting 4 calls total, so you can kind of plan that out in your mind. And actually, it's going to be 5 because we have an onboarding call too. But the booking links are going to come at you, and we really want to just get them going first and foremost. You're going to book the onboarding vision call with myself. Then you're going to get into the audio audit call to make sure your studio is looking good. These things are the things that take the longest. And then as soon as we get Then as soon as we get those calls done, then we'll move into the strategy calls. We'll be going into a monetization call, an episode and guest planning call, and also a marketing call. These are all flexible depending on what you need most, but these are usually the 3 calls that we see clients need. So we're just here to support you all the way. So we'll make sure to get those calls booked. We ask you to get those calls booked as early as possible. So that way we have playtime and can really update our team and make sure that everything that we're doing is in alignment and ready to go for the launch. So you're also going to have a quarterly podcast accelerator call with Sammy. This is a group call with all of our clients, which is a really fun way to just be updated on new things that are happening in the podcast space and the AI and marketing space. You'll also receive bi-monthly strategy calls. These are going to be one-on-one calls with either myself or Sammy, sometimes both of us, ideally. And that's where we're just going to be taking a look at your stats, what's been happening, what needs to tweak, checking in with you on any launches or new initiatives you have going in your business, and really making sure that the podcast is ready to go. So depending on, what you need, whether we are looking more at stats or planning the episodes or doing guest outreach, that's our time to connect and support you. You also have the Podcast Profit Launchpad system. This is our signature course. This is the step-by-step plan on how you can launch and monetize your podcast. We're going to email that over to you. And really, we recommend someone from your team to go through this program or yourself and just start implementing the things that you're learning, because we're going to be able to do most of it here as your agency. We're going to be walking you, holding your hand through all of it, but there's going to be just extra bonuses in there. So if you really want to get the best results, highly suggest going through that. If you're curious on where to start in that, go ahead and just send us a message and we'll let you know depending on where you're at in your podcasting and in your business. So we do want to go over the production timeline. So we absolutely recommend batching out the episodes. You want to see if you can get at least 1 month ahead of schedule. This is where you're going to be able to be luxurious and relax in your production flow, and that will give us plenty of time to strategize and just make sure that everything is buttoned up and ready to go. So this means recording 1 month of episodes by the time your show launches. And I think that's the starting point. I know it might seem like, oh, I launched, yay, I want to just celebrate and kind of soak in it. If you can actually get ahead of time right then, that's going to set you up for success in the long haul. So on a minimum, if you do not do that, we minimum ask for 5 full business days. All right. So you can see that there are going to be some production rush fees if it is less than that. And unfortunately, if we receive anything that is less than 2 business days notice, we're not going to be able to get that episode out on your syndication date. And that one's going to have to be forfeited. So just keep that in mind and plan accordingly. So some things to expect when it comes to Evolve Podcasting. You are absolutely investing in that human touch. There's so many incredible ways that we're going to utilize AI, and we're going to be talking to you about them during our strategy calls and, getting you so up to speed, getting your team up to speed, so that way everything is as efficient as possible. But what we bring to the table is the human touch, the human eye. So just know that we're going to be prioritizing that genuine human connection, creativity, tailoring every way that we work with you, and also tailoring each episode with care. So we are so committed to excellence. We pursue perfection everywhere possible, and we will strive for that within every single team member and every single asset, big or small. With that being said, we are human. So, when it comes to any mistakes that get made or that slip through the cracks, there's going to be multiple people looking at every single thing, but sometimes it just happens because we are not an AI only company. And so if anything like that happens, please reach out to us immediately. Do not hesitate about it. And we will, as quick as possible, adjust and make the edits happen and resolve it so quickly. So that is our commitment to you. So next steps, go ahead and just check your email, Slack for any messages on what is next. You're going to be getting in touch with your official launch manager here soon. That's most likely going to be May. And then in the meantime, what you can do is just focus on checking the messages, and then check out your checklist. This is going to be how you can stay up to date with what needs to happen in your lunch. You can look at it on your Airtable, check that out, see all of the resources and the ways that we are going to, be in communication with you. The more familiar you are with them before we start using them, the better. So we'll send you an email and text once we get ready for the next phase. And we are just so grateful to be supporting you and getting your show out in the world. Thanks for trusting us.